Hey, what up guys? Factory3 here, bringing you my first and last video of 2018. That's right, it's been a while, hasn't it? Last video I made was back in November of 2017. So yeah, it's been a while. There's been some reasons for that, of course. Firstly, I don't have a current computer. My old computer finally kind of bit the wiener. Something's wrong with it. I gotta fix it. Just haven't had the money to do so. So yeah, I've been about a year and a half-ish without a computer. So I've just been focusing on just gaming and doing some streams here and there. The sorts, the lovely sorts. So I decided maybe I should make a video for 2018. Maybe I should do that. Just maybe. You know, just have something on my my lonely YouTube channel, just to kind of have a nice little gathering spot of my thoughts and all that basically. Although primarily this video is just gonna be about Destiny and Destiny 2, obviously. The main reason for that, amazing reason for that, is because I was actually recently going back, looking through my videos, and I actually noticed that the last video actually talked about Destiny in terms of just what I've been doing with it, and especially since it's still being my main game to this date. That video was back in 2015, just before the Taken King came out, and that was 3 years ago, back in 2015. So a lot has happened since 2015 in Destiny. The past 3 years have been, it's been a wild one. Finished off Destiny 1, and of course, Destiny 2 in all its glory, and the launch of that, which was something else. Oh yeah, something else. Yeah, so besides that, I'm just kind of go over Destiny stuff for now. But yeah, since I made that video back in 2015, it was about a couple hours where I just kind of went over my thoughts on Destiny at the time, kind of what I thought, the future, and the major DLC that was coming out just before then. I think it was a week or two before I made that video, which was the Taken King DLC. Huge expansion for Destiny. Much larger than I even anticipated, actually. The Taken King brought a whole lot to Destiny, including players and just how they reworked the system, and it definitely changed the Destiny ecosystem for sure during those DLCs and following. Before I go too deep into going through the past and my thoughts on Destiny now, the gameplay currently is a brand new event or activity in Destiny 2 called the Shattered Throne. The Shattered Throne is a new, it's like a mini raid, a Destiny 2 mini raid, something that Destiny has never really done before. It's a really long encounter. It takes about an hour-ish to get through. Basically, like, I guess they classify it as like a dungeon, or as you would like a dungeon compared to like MMOs of the sorts, compared to an actual raid. So I really enjoy this kind of content. I really hope they make more of it. It's one of my favorite pieces of content in Destiny 2 that they added. And yeah, it's fantastic. So this is me completing the Shattered Throne solo without dying. So flawlessly. This is actually a triumph. So it is actually, it's now in history that I've done this. But anyways, and my setup. I'm using the Almighty Bygones, using the Solo Calamity bow, Void bow, which is amazing. Whisper of the Worm sniper, and I was using Thunder Crash Arc Titan, as you just saw. Needs to slam into the boss. This run entirely took about a day or two to do. I did one practice run the night before, got some sleep, woke up, did another practice run, and then did it on my, I guess, third try while attempting everything. I'll kind of explain more of this as it goes. Again, just like a mini raid. But anyways, so going back, going way back on, I guess, to that last video, connecting from the last video 3 years, where basically Taken King just came out as a major DLC. Again, my memory's kind of iffy on everything because it was a while ago. My memory is not that great in general, so just trying to remember, kind of going back in time, just being like, right, that happened and that happened and that happened. You know, it's a lot of work. It's a lot to remember, especially with Destiny and everything that has happened since then. Yeah, and just I guess to start off with, Taken King, when it came out, I know that changed a whole lot of things, where they made a lot of new weapons obsolete, and from year one, I think even armor too. It completely changed. I think armor didn't affect many things. The armor, I think you could wear any armor that you wanted to, starting at that point. It wasn't like specific armor that you actually had to wear, which I forgot. Like in order to be max light, you had to wear a certain armor, and you had to upgrade that armor, and then things completely different from now. Things like how that whole changed and has been since that time has completely changed. The ecosystem, again, like I said, it's just so much has changed since then. I'm just trying to remember exactly what happened, when it happened, and might not be the best timeline per se, but when Taken King came out, obviously that introduced the Taken, which I am killing someone right here. The Taken with the new raid, King's Fall raid, which was one of Destiny's largest raids to date at that time. I think trying to think still till now. Anyway, it was a massive raid. A lot of things they implemented. Swords, they brought swords into the game at that point. Swords were great. The exotic swords were amazing. And yeah, the raid itself was pretty great. Sort of like how everything goes with the way Destiny had gone, was people come and go. However, there was a lot of people that did join for Taken King. A lot of people that play now. A lot of people that still kind of play or who kind of play to this day said that they joined during the Taken King. That was their first time playing. And there was actually a lot more than I actually I thought there was. It actually surprised me, where a lot of these people I'm talking to being like, hey, when did you join Destiny? When did you play Destiny? A lot of them were saying, oh yeah, Taken King was my time. And I think that was the case for a lot of people who had not started Destiny since day one, like I was. The Taken King was that starter gap. It was that introduction. They really got the talk out, the hype out. Huge news over it. I think that really brought in a huge audience for Destiny, which was great, and what Destiny needed. Because a lot of the DLCs prior to then were definitely not huge, or at least significant in that sort of way. There was the Dark Below, House of Wolves, which had the Crota raid, which again, that was pretty small. It was a small raid. House of Wolves brought PoE, the Prison of Elders. Again, it was a piece of content, but it wasn't massive, and it was still something. But again, those were kind of mini DLCs, as I guess you could say. So again, Taken King just brought a whole new system to the game. And of course, the clan went through some changes around that time. Again, a lot of people left, a lot of people joined. Got a whole plethora of new people. A lot of new people that joined, stayed. Probably made a lot of the more stronger connections within the raid. Within the clan at that point, especially with doing the raid. I probably ended up doing the King's Fall raid the most out of Destiny 1, just because that was with how active the clan was, how many people were playing, and wanting to do the raid and teaching everybody, and I definitely taught that raid a whole bunch of times to many different people. And it was just sort of, it was great. It was pretty great. I definitely can't lie about that. That was definitely a high point in Destiny's life. Definitely a high point in the clan. Definitely, it was just a great point overall. Again, since then I haven't really talked since Taken King was coming out. The only thing I've really had out has been my montage videos. I made both a year 1 and a year 2 montage video for Destiny. I'm still happy about those videos. This is kind of nice to show everything that happened within a year, and just kind of recording clips and screenshots of everything, making sure I was recording all the significant events that was happening throughout those times. I did the same thing for year 3, so that was for the next DLC, Rise of Iron, and everything else that kind of proceeded after that. I still have, but that was around the time when my computer kind of died, even though, I mean, I was just kind of lazy. There was some unfortunate events that happened after Taken King. Well, during the Rise of Iron DLC. Some unfortunate things happened where some members of the clan left that were included in a lot of the clips they had for year 3. So I was kind of like in a weird state of I wasn't sure what to do. I was unsure if I should even make the video, unsure of how I should even, if I even should make it at all, or just completely scrap it and say fuck it, just kind of go at my business. So there was definitely a long time where I was kind of just like, kind of debating if I really should make a year 3 montage video, and I just kind of put it off and off. And eventually that's when my computer kind of died, and I still have a lot of the clips because everything's still saved on my external hard drive. Everything that I took off it and transferred from my PS4. So that's just kind of what I was, I guess, at that point, just being like, kind of talking to some of the other clan members, being like, should I do this? And then I was kind of like, yeah, I think I will. So eventually, once I do get my computer up and running, or get a new computer, whenever that will be, it might not be for a while still, I'll probably still make that year 3 montage. It's going to be some time though before again that even comes out, because then even when I get my computer, I have to then edit it, because I just have all the clips and everything, and it's just been, yeah, it's just that's just a mess right now. Somewhere on my external hard drive is just, I gotta sort everything, and yeah, so I just kind of been like clear my mind of that and just been focusing on gaming and a lot of Destiny. Yeah, so Taken King, it brought quite a bit. It brought Sparrow Racing too, which was fantastic. I absolutely loved Sparrow Racing. That's probably one of my favorite all-time modes that Destiny brought. I was absolutely like, once I watched some like I watched like a tournament basically. It was called SRL. Basically, watched a tournament. Watched how there was one guy who just completely destroyed everybody. I watched basically how he raced, implemented into my own racing. Bam! I started like winning every race after that. I was like, oh, that's how you do it. So once I figured out the technique, it was really fun, really fun to race. Pretty much coming first or second every single race. Yeah. So I enjoyed that quite a bit in that event. I really wish they bring that back for Destiny 2, which they haven't yet. I really wish they can bring back racing at some point. I hope they do. And yeah, that's what I'm just hoping. So that was a really fun event. I really enjoyed that in Destiny 1. Yeah, like I said, we did the raid a whole bunch. I think that's when they started to add challenge modes for raids. So instead of just being normal and hard, the normal that they did for raids, normal version hard raid, they started adding challenges to raids. I can't remember exactly when that happened in Taken King. I think it was some point after a while. They definitely didn't add that right away. It was definitely after some time where they added challenge modes, which was a whole lot of fun because I had that whole new level of difficulty when you had to do raids, especially on hard. When you did a hard raid and then did the challenge, you know, that's like, it brought so much more. It brought so much more to the game. So much more. And so, like, see, for the King's Fall raid, the first boss that was like an actual boss, you basically had to, like, I don't know, shit. Yeah, there was emblems associated with the challenges. If you did the challenge, you get an emblem, you got bonus loot. It pretty much came to a point too where, like, the challenges, if you did the raid on hard and you did the challenge for it, you got like an insane amount of loot. Because at first it was very sparing. It was like, when the raid first came out, it was like, here's a drop. You know, traditionally how the raids were going. Here's a drop. They started adding all these new ways to get loot, and then it's like hard mode, and then the challenge. It's like, and I think they added like a couple drops. I think they added an extra drop for some bosses. So like, you beat a boss, you get like 4 or 5 drops, and like you got the normal loot and the hard loot, and yeah. So it was intense. It was intense, but it was great for those who wanted to level up. It was great if you wanted the gear, which I wanted, of course. So it's pretty great. Destiny was definitely giving more opportunities for loot, which was what we all wanted. So again, I can't remember exactly the timeline of how all that was rolled out eventually, but challenge modes were fun. They eventually, I guess that's later on. Yeah, so Kingsfell raid, hard mode, challenges, certain exotics that were new OP, like the Touch of Malice. Was a new exotic during Taken King, which was like really fun to use. Which was basically if the bullet would not reload automatically, so if you shot into one bullet, you'd do extra damage, but then you would also take your own HP. So then you would like implement Blessing of Light with using, like, you'd stand in your bubble, pop out, you'd shoot it, go back to your bubble, and it would refresh your HP. So you could basically just keep hopping out inside the bubbles, and that was the meta for the Kingsfall raid for a while. Especially when people were still low light and everything, so it gave an extra damage boost. Again, there was so much that happened. If you want to see more in depth of what kind of happened throughout Taken King, I do have that year 2 montage video. You go check it out. I had to re-upload it, so one of the songs on it was copies. The weird thing was, somebody copy-striked one of the songs in the video and it muted the whole video. I was like, really? You can be one of them. I was like, you can't just mute this section, you have to mute the entire video. Alright. Whatever. That's why I hate copyright shit. Obviously it's there for a reason and I understand it, but I don't care. Just like put the ads all over my video. I don't care. Take my money. Just like let the video be. You know, don't mute my entire video. You know, like. But whatever. Yeah, it's whatever. Change the song in it. Re-upload it. Yeah, not too much else really happened or changed. Again, it's hard to remember every detail from 3 years ago. Exactly. I did go. I think that was during for the first time ever and only time ever. I did go Falls and Trials. It was me, Roztrick, and I think Omni Bean. They were basically the best of our clan that was good for PvP, at least. Not many of us in the clan were still very great at PvP, besides like me maybe, but a lot of people were just kind of like, they play PvP, but you know, we tried to do trials over the time and over the years, and it just didn't really work out ever. But those were out of those guys that we did have, those are probably our best PvPers. And one weekend we actually just went for it. We tried on the Widow's court. Bam, flawless. that was a very high tense game. Stressful. It was down like last round of the game kind of thing. And I got the final kill, which ended it off and got us the flawless victory. And I freak out. Because again, that was my first flawless ever trials, and a lot of my trials luck was awful, so sorry, I'm also dealing with a throat problem right now too, so my throat's been giving me some issues recently. But yeah, so that was a high time for us, high time for me. I was great, feeling great. I was like, hell yeah, flawless. Got this, went to the lighthouse on Mercury, checked that out. Got some loot, got an emblem, got one of the emblems. They had multiple emblems throughout trials. I got this kind of black and orange cool looking one. Pretty happy about that. That's where you can get like, at that point, that's where you get like adept weapons. So I got this pretty cool pulse. It's a high damage pulse rifle. Slow firing high damage pulse rifle, which and Destiny 1 meta at that time wasn't amazing, but I still use it a bit, mostly probably for PvE at that point. For PvP it wasn't that great, but because I remember trying using that, it didn't work out so well, so you know, but it's still great. It's still like, hey, I got this weapon for going flawless. So I took that and like, yeah, again, made a video on that. Watch that if you want. And it was, yeah. In terms of else that kind of, I think the only thing that really happened before the next DLC came out, I think that was really it for Taken King again. That was pretty much when our clan was most active, definitely for sure during Taken King. A lot of King's Falls raid runs. Tons of them on hard, doing the challenges. The challenges were fun, they're challenging. Definitely took a while to note as well. One of the challenges, which was for orcs, which was the last fight for King's Fall. The challenge mode on the day that we attempted it, which was one of the first days it came out, it legit took us like, I think it legit took us 12 hours straight to do that one fight. To do the one orcs fight. Like, it was rough. It was a rough day, but it was fun. Like, it was like it's crazy that we attempted that for 12 hours. The only reason it really took 12 hours is because every few hours or so somebody had to go, and then we just kept going. So we had to teach a new person everything, and then, yeah, so that kind of happened every like 3 or 4 hours. People would drop, and then we had to get new people, but eventually, we did it. Ooh. Sorry about that. But yeah, eventually, we did it. We prevailed. Stuck to it. We were just wanting to get it done. So eventually we did do it later that day. I think we started in the morning, finished at night. That was definitely the longest raiding experience I've ever had in Destiny. Doing something for about 12 hours straight. I definitely had long raiding sessions before that, but never to that extent of like, holy shit, we've been raiding for 12 hours, you know? Like, yeah, it was great, good times. Definitely good times. I would look through, again, I would give more details on what happened, but I don't quite remember at this moment, unless without references on my screenshots or video clips, so, which I cannot see right now, but, yeah, Taken King, it's a good times. That's when the Whisper Worm came out. Yeah, it was pretty fun. A lot of fun. Halloween event came out too, masks, which was really cool, but they were like cosmetic though, so you couldn't wear them and do anything. I don't remember what happened for Christmas. I can't remember if there was a Christmas event or not. I think there was. I can't. Oh, no, maybe there wasn't. Maybe not for Taken King. But, yeah, so, again, a lot happened. That's when I was kind of streaming a lot too. During that time period, I was definitely probably the strongest streaming grind I was on at that point. Just trying to get through, you know, just trying to push out that fun content. But yeah, so then eventually we had some people come back in the clan. Some people came back, and I remember a couple of the last raids was when I think we took Sebish through the raid. He kind of came back. But yeah, again, more in depth. Check out that video, because I don't quite remember. Alright, next DLC that came out. Next major DLC came out was Rise of Iron. So this was during year 3. During year 3, Destiny was interesting. Definitely probably more. It was still pretty great. I still enjoyed the DLC quite a bit. This was the DLC where they introduced Siva, which was a new type of enemy. They were linked to the Fallen, basically a different type of Fallen. They were like Siva controlled, this new type of AI that was like taking over everything, that kind of idea. And with that came the Rise of Iron DLC, where the Iron Lords kind of learn more about the Iron Lords at that time. And that's with Lord Saladin. He was kind of like the main guy in that. There's a new like event. There's a new social space you could go to, and yeah, it was kind of just Tim talking about the Iron Lords, and kind of getting history about that, and just kind of dealing with the Siva outbreak and stuff that went on. Of course, brought that with new weapons and armor and stuff. I think they made everything obsolete again, if I remember correctly. So year 3 again was kind of like a new fresh slate. New nerfs, new exotics, new weapons, the whole shebang. New raid. That brought the 4th and final raid to Destiny, which was the Wrath of the Machine raid. Still decently long. Not as long as King's Fall raid though. Probably about Vault Glass size raid. That was a pretty enjoyable raid as well. I quite enjoyed the weapons. Quite enjoyed everything that the Rise of Iron brought. It was a very fun raid. Again, that's kind of... Our clan was still pretty active going into Rise of Iron. Doing a lot of stuff. Again, I can't even... Wait, by the way, quick side note. This is a boss within the Shard Throne, by the way. I think I'd take a little break here because I was trying to figure out what to do here, but... Or watching a video. Just to make sure I was doing it right. But yeah, so... Again, that's when they brought out... I can't remember exactly what they brought in terms of new exotics and everything. I would have to look at my screenshots. Which I could do. But... Again, all my clips that I have from the Rise of Iron, they're all stored on an external hard drive, which I have. Just chilling, waiting. Wait until I get that new computer back. And, yeah, so it definitely brought a whole lot again to Destiny. It was really fun. It was great. I still enjoyed the DLC quite a bit. Wasn't as game changer as a Taken King, but it definitely was setting things in motion correctly. Changing things for the good. Again, I don't remember too much because I haven't really looked at the clips or screenshots since everything has happened. The Wrath Machine was really fun. It was tough though. That was a tough raid to do, especially on hard mode first time. That took us a while to do for quite a while. Let alone the challenges. Yeah, so the main fights that were Axis, Bozic, and Axis. Axis was the first boss, or Bozic was the first boss. Axis was the second boss. Bozic was like, it was a pretty cool concept for a boss because you basically had 30 orbs at a boss all at the same time. On hard mode, it was pretty difficult because you had to have all 6 people hit the boss at once, or at least 5. I can't remember exactly, but it was definitely tough. If somebody died, then again it'd be all over. So, like, it's raids now compared to back then raids were so much tougher back then, especially when you couldn't die at all. Like, you died, that was it. Reset. They changed that a lot in Destiny 2, which is good for the better. But yeah, so like it was difficult for everything to go right because then people die at the side. You couldn't really. Then you had to cover a side because you had to split off into like 2 teams of 3. So it was difficult if somebody died on your side. It was still possible, but it was difficult unless you're really good and knew how to cover. But so I remember struggling on that boss for quite a while, especially on hard modes and challenge mode. But it was still pretty fun. It was a good challenge overall. Again, gave us more ways to get more loot and bonus loot, because you could get like these keys and open the chests at certain bosses if you wanted, because certain bosses would drop certain loot back then as well. And the D1 raids, so they made it so you could get extra bonus loot if you're missing a certain armor piece or weapon. So that was really great that they did that. What else did they change or add? Probably my most favorite. The blast boss itself too was pretty challenging, but it was a lot of fun. It was definitely pretty fun. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the Axis fight, especially when the meta of Dark Drinker was found out. That was a lot of fun. That was an exotic sword. They would spin the wind, do crazy damage. Going from a raid team of "oh shit, can we do this?" to "oh yeah, we can do this." So as long as you had Dark Drinker and everybody in the team had Dark Drinker, then you were most likely going to beat the raid. So yeah, so a lot of fun. Hope to release that year 3 montage at some point. I do have access to a computer. It's not a great computer. My roommate has one, so potentially I could maybe work on it one day, but we'll see. We shall see. Probably one of my favorite updates for Rise of Iron was they didn't update as the last update for Destiny 1, where they basically brought everything back. They brought all the raids up to current light level. A lot of the old weapons. I think the only thing they didn't do was Colossus. I don't think they touched Colossus. They brought it back, the PoE stuff, but I think they left Colossus alone, which was the boss for PoE, special boss. But yeah, that was pretty fun. So then they brought all the old raids, all new armor. They brought all their armor back and weapons. They brought back every weapon in exotic form, if you wanted the elemental damage for it. They brought back armor, which you could have. You could put these raid tokens on them. I forgot what they were called. You can make them. You could really spice up the armor. Have like these effects coming off the armor. The Crowed armor looked really cool. Like all the armor looked really cool if you had the full set and with the ornaments on them. Were they ornaments back then? Maybe. Yeah, so it was really fun to be able to like go through all the raids again and actually have a reason to do them again. Get all the really cool looking armor again. It was a lot of fun. I definitely did a whole lot of raiding at that point. It was definitely a point where the clan definitely went pretty, not south, but definitely went pretty dead around that time though. So I was doing a lot of LFG raids at that point. I had to do a lot of stuff by myself. We still had some active people, but that was definitely a point where people were definitely like, all right, we're done with Destiny. You know, we played Destiny for 3 years or whatever. It's time to call it, which is fair, definitely fair enough. Especially having had played that for that long. Oh, sorry. My throat killed me. But yeah, so it's definitely quite a journey. Destiny 1 was definitely a journey. Something that was great, like having the clan and still having active people in the clan at all times, new people coming, going. It was still all pretty great. It was all still really fun to play with, like, you know, the group of guys you can know and trust, and you can get through raids, and the ones that really stuck around to make things even better. The guys who really knew what they were doing, kind of thing. So it was overall still a great experience. Even though I still wish some of the things didn't turn out the way they did, but that's just how things go in life and gaming in general, I guess. You might not always be playing with the same people always, but lots still stuck through though, so which was great. It's great. Destiny 1 ended off on a high note, and yeah, I enjoyed every minute of it. I enjoyed all 3 of those years at Destiny 1. And yeah, so it was that time where it was like, now we wait for Destiny 2, you know? It was that moment in time where it was like, Destiny 1's donezoed. Where's Destiny 2? And of course, it all starts off with the teasing of Destiny 2. Destiny 2 teasing with a new main villain, a new main story. The tower gets attacked. Your beloved tower is destroyed. There's a new social space you have to rebuild, and yeah. I guess this leads into Destiny 2 now. At least for now, until I think of anything more of Destiny 1, but Destiny 2 brought new things, which were not great. A lot of people were mad when Destiny 2 came out, when it first came out. There's a lot of changes that I made that people were like, yo, what the fuck? Like, why are you doing this? Did you not learn from Destiny 1? Which I definitely agree. There were some things that they did that I was like, yo, what the fuck, Destiny? I love you, but what the fuck? Did you not learn? But they're also making Destiny 2. I think they reported that they started making Destiny 2 like right after Taken King or whatever, so I'm not sure, like, all the things that they're adding to Destiny 1 and updating and making it better, I think was already like, Destiny 2 was already like getting made, and sort of like what it was, so a lot of the problems that they solved in Destiny 1, they didn't really solve in Destiny 2 right at the gate. And they introduced more new problems, or new old problems. So that was definitely a problem for a while. Yeah, a lot of people were mad. A lot of people quit, stopped playing, gave up. And I understand that. Destiny wasn't a really bad point in that time. Destiny 2 came out, it was definitely a low point for Destiny. A lot of people were like, ah shit. If this is the way Destiny 2 is gonna be, maybe this is the end of Destiny, you know. Maybe Destiny 2 is really dead, you know. Maybe Destiny is dead, you know, maybe it's over, maybe, like, why didn't they learn from their mistakes? Why didn't they learn from whatever they did? But over time, they were like, oh shit. They understood the mistakes they made, they understood the problems that they caused, and they managed to clean it up, managed to get the shit together. It took a while, and now they're kind of back on the right focus, where people are happy again, doing the right things, making the right changes. And now they're kind of coming back full circle, which to the point of being okay again, which they shouldn't have done to begin with, but the way I guess things worked out was just not great. But there was pushing through, believing in Bungie, and they have been delivering, so which is great, which is good. Yeah, a lot has happened in Destiny 2. Again, ever since Destiny 1. They had a whole bunch of things, a whole plethora of things. I think the worst change that they did for Destiny, when Destiny 2 first came out, was the whole power weapon situation. So, they have since fixed that a little bit, but at first, they made it so they brought back elemental weapons, which I think I forgot to mention, but back in Taken King, they completely removed elemental primaries from the game because they thought that elemental primaries were taking over too much. They thought they were like too OP, and that people were relying on elemental primaries over everything else, because only certain things gave elemental primaries back in D1 days. But it was sort of like a, why do anything else? Oh, I just killed that ogre. Fuck this fight. This fight doing solo was awful, by the way. So they, out of the gate, they made it so, again, they took elemental primaries from us from D1 around Taken King. They gave them back slightly during Rise of Iron at the very end. And they brought back all the raids. They brought back elemental primaries again, but again, it took an exotic slot, so it was like that. You know, it's like, here's your elemental primaries, but exotic. So, I think the only other exotic with the elemental primary was the Xylo Supercell for Arc. But elemental primaries was pretty much dead at that point in time after Taken King. So in Destiny 2 they decided to bring them back as a primary focus. They changed it up so that you no longer had primaries, like secondaries and heavy weapons. It was more like primary, everything else. That's not primary. For your heavy slot. Or power weapons, they call them in Destiny 2. Yeah. So you had your kinetic, your energy, and your power weapons in Destiny 2. Kinetic, energy were pretty much the exact same thing. Same kind of weapons, auto rifles, pulse rifles, hand cannons, and of course, all having their own elements for the energy slots. Everything was solar or whatever. They did some changes where, and then everything else was, of course, in the power. So that includes shotguns, snipers, rockets, fusion rifles. Everything that was a secondary in Destiny 1, they just shoved into the power slot. A lot of people were unhappy about that. Super unhappy. Because that made, like, the sniper, shotgun, fusion rifles were, like, really underpowered. Feel really underpowered. It's like, why should I run a shotgun, my power slot, when I could run, like, a rocket launcher or something? That kind of thing. So they have since fixed that. They made it so now they brought back some of the weapons. They made some weapons now in each slot, so you have like some kinetic snipers, kinetic shotguns, energy shotguns, like fusion rifles, that kind of stuff. They kept rockets still in like the main kind of heavy power weapons, still in power slot only, but they definitely fixed that and done some things to since make people happy, give the people what they want, you know, give the people what they want. So they listened, and they're like, here you go, here you go. But actually, still got a little bit of time. I'll see. Try to decide what I want to do at the end of this recording. But yeah, so again, Destiny 2 went through a lot of changes as well. I haven't really recorded too much in terms of clips. Some things. There's been so much that's happening. We're in year 2 of Destiny currently. I won't go. Well, I'll kind of go over a little bit. Again, with the whole changes, like I said, with the weapons, that was a whole different. They make it now. They have it now so that like, so your light level obviously is different from your normal level. They fixed that in Taken King. Can't remember exactly if it's the same or not, but basically every single piece of armor now is basically has its own light level, and you basically can just infuse things. I think they did that a bit in, I think, Rise of Iron, the infusions, but a lot of it was like, it wasn't even like full 1-to-1 infusions, but they changed that to 1-to-1 now. So if you have something like 600 light, infuse it, it'll be 600 light kind of thing. Or before it'd be like 580 or something. It's dumb. The way they did it first was dumb. But yeah, like, again, there's so much that's been just kind of influx here and there throughout the whole Destiny years, 3 years. So much has changed, which each DLC, things they added, things they removed, things they fixed, things they reverted. It's just, the list is massive. It's hard to go through everything at once. Yeah. Since Destiny 2 has come out, we've had 3, like basically 4 DLCs come out. We've had 2 smaller ones. We had Curse of Osiris and the Warmind. We had the Mass of Forsaken, and now we recently have had the Black Armory. A lot of the people, when Osiris came out, and again how Destiny 1 was, and Osiris came out the first DLC, a lot of people fell off Destiny. A lot of people hated Destiny at that point. The DLC came out, people were like, this is a shitty ass DLC, this is a lame ass DLC. Get this DLC out of our faces, we don't want this. So that's when things definitely were going real south for Destiny at this point. Bungie. I was still kind of playing. I've been basically playing constantly since still Taken King. There was some points during Curse of Osiris where I was max light and I didn't really have to. There was nothing to grind for. Oh yeah, rolls. The thing they took out of Destiny 2 from Destiny 1 was fixed rolls for all the way up until the Forsaken, actually. Recent update, major update. Every weapon had a fixed roll to it. They wanted to get rid of that grind. The people, they're trying to make it some more, I guess, casual. So the casuals, people who could only play maybe a couple days a week, can still have a fighting chance with everything. It's like, oh, I want that pulse rifle. I can get that pulse rifle with that roll instead of having the D1 days where you have to grind and grind and grind for that god roll, you know? I'm sorry. You have to grind and grind and grind for that god roll you're trying to go for. So it's kind of like the same sort of thing. So they were like, so they wanted to make it more casual and be like, hey, anybody can play this. If you get that weapon, that's it. So obviously it took a lot of the grinding out of Destiny, and you got the weapon, you're like, alright, I got it. That's it. Everyone's using the same weapons with the same rolls, and not too much variety there going on. A lot of people liked that. A lot of people didn't like that. I think mostly people hate that though. People are starting to be like, hey, bring back random rolls. We want random rolls again. Give us the grind. So they ended up changing that. Brought back random rolls for Forsaken. Made the year 1 weapons for Destiny kind of obsolete. Not really. Some you can still use it, but they had like mod systems now for weapons where you can add certain mods, make them do more damage or extra stats. They brought new perks for weapons. Sorry. The Forsaken DLC brought a whole bunch to Destiny. Forsaken for Destiny 2 was like the Taken King for Destiny 1. It just reformatted everything, basically. Rehashed Destiny for the better. Everybody loved it. The, oh, God. I'm almost over my time here, so I'll be quick. I've been really enjoying Destiny 2. The raids have been fun. They were different. The Leviathan raid was different, I guess. That was the first raid that came out of Destiny 2. It was sort of different in terms of how raids are normally for the traditional Destiny raid, where you would go in and it's like a hub, a central hub, and there was 3 different areas you go to, and then the final boss. So each week, to try to like spice it up, so each week you'd start a different area. So there was like a dogs, there was a baths, and then there was the gauntlet, and then Callus, who was the final boss. All enjoyable raid in general. A lot of people liked it, a lot of people didn't like it. They made some changes where they got rid of hard mode, instead they added something called a prestige mode. Made it so that if you die, you can get 1 revive token. They brought back challenges. They added the Eater Worlds raid, the Spire of Stars raid. Those were like raid layers, like mini raids. They since added the Last Wish raid, which was like probably one of the best Destiny raids of all time. They added Forsaken, that was a lot of fun. I quite enjoying that raid right now. One of the most enjoyable raids in Destiny for sure. They added a new one, Scourge of the Past, I think it's called. I have not tried that yet with the clan. People are still behind. The clan is still going. It's still strong. New people, old people joining. It's the way it's always been for Destiny. We still have some old classics. We still have Mayo, CJ, Necro, Grundle Prime, Blue Jay, Lock Omega. And that was me killing the final boss for this. Yeah, for this, yeah, for the Shattered Throne. So that's me. I'm gonna wrap it up. That was me soloing the Shattered Throne, flawless. There's the Tramps. They added those too. They added collections. They added so much in Destiny. Yeah, like I said, they added. Actually, I want to see. Is this gonna like stop me or not? I don't know. I never. Are you gonna keep going? Okay, you are. So, yeah, they added so much. They added like the Triumph score, or the Grimoire score that they had in D1. By the time we finished it, I think it was like 56, 57,000, 5,600 or something at the end. I pretty much did like 95% of that. They had Triumphs, which is the new thing. They had that recently at Forsaken. They had collections, so you could like see anything, anytime, anywhere. Bring out old weapons, bring out your shaders, your ships. You don't have to keep them in your vaults anymore. You can delete everything. The only thing you can't bring back is random rolls. So keep your rolls. Check your shit. Check that. They changed the game for sure. They definitely changed the game quite a bit. I think that's something we're gonna really talk about though. Like they added so much to Destiny now and Destiny 2 and. It's in a good spot right now. The Black Army just came out. There's crazy stuff going on. Crazy things going on in Destiny. I'm still playing fucking every day. Well, especially now. During the early days, DLC days, there was almost no reason to. But now there's actual reason to play. Stuff to grind. There's comp. There's so many new friends I've made in Destiny. So many new people I've met that I made friends with. There's another clan that we're really good friends with, known as C Squad. That's where I met Lemon Earl. Earl Lemon Grab 69. That's I started going heavy into PvP with Trials of Osiris. Well, Trials of the 9 in this game. I started going crazy in PvP. I met all these great people in PvP. I started being okay, decently at PvP in Destiny 2. I started meeting all these PvP friends. I started going flawless in Trials. Stuff I never thought I'd do. I met so many PvP friends. I went flawless not once, not twice, not 3 times. Boys, I've been flawless 47 times. And I met some great friends through it. New friends, old friends. People I don't talk to anymore, but that was just Trials, the way it was. There was a dark time in Destiny, and I filled in that void for a lot of people. And yeah, Trials is probably the biggest one I played. Started doing a whole lot of Trials. Made good friends with Earl Lemongrab. He's my man. He's my bro. Give a shout out to him. He's awesome. Really cool, chill guy. Probably one of the most chill guys I've played Destiny with. I met friends with recently. Or, I guess, yeah, since I've been playing Destiny 2. I've been playing comp. They added, like, competitive mode for PvP, and there's all these, like, new weapons you get for doing just comp, and if you get a high enough score, you get, like, certain weapons. They added, like, a Regic's Claymore, which only 9,000 people in Destiny, or something like 10,000 people in Destiny got this. They added Luna's Howl, Not Forgotten, Mountaintop, some other weapon. I don't know what they added. These, like, super weapons sort of thing that you can only get in comp, and they added some new ones for you could do in Strikes and Vanguard and Gambit, and there's Gambit. I haven't even talked about Gambit yet, and I think I'm gonna call it here for now. Destiny has definitely evolved from what it was in Destiny 1. I still miss Destiny 1. Those were good times to be had, and memories to be had with Destiny 1. And I haven't really gone back since Destiny 2's come out. I still kind of maybe one day want to go back and play through some, maybe raid again one day. But like I've almost clocked as many hours into Destiny 1 as I have into Destiny 2 now. I am like 100 hours off the total time I played Destiny 1 and Destiny 2. I've been going hard to Destiny 2. There's bright engrams, is just so much. Seasons. Clan perks, is ghost shells that do shit. They, yeah, emblems that count stuff, and a lot of great things. But maybe that's for another video. Our banner of factions, there's so many changes, so many things. Oh god, I'm dying. My voice is dying. I'm dead. But yeah. At this point in time, at this very moment, Black Army just came out a couple weeks ago, 3 weeks ago now. New power light level, 650 light level. It's been great. It's been good. Lots of things to do to get powerful engrams. Tons of things to get you high enough light. The raids are awesome. Friends are awesome. The clan's awesome. Everybody's awesome. Oh my god. I might be back. I might interview somebody. Oh yeah. I'm back. Maybe. If I don't know. If not, I'll do like closing. Like 5-10 minutes. If not, then thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.